Hi, welcome to Science and Engineering Writing Essentials. Today we are learning about the thesis statement. So what is it and what does it do? The thesis statement is the central argument in science and engineering writing. It must be clearly formulated and presented in a persuasive manner in the introduction. Science and engineering writing must make an argument or a claim developed through explanation, description, and critical analysis with evidence to support it. The thesis statement sets out the author's position, and every part of the writing needs to refer to it in some way. Here is an example of an effective thesis statement. The framework of energy economics presented in this paper demonstrates interrelations between the energy sectors and input from other areas such as industry, transport, and household as evidence in determining the current demand for energy. In this example, the author states that their analysis of the interrelations between the energy sectors and input from other areas has the purpose of developing the framework of energy economics to determine the current demand for energy. In short, the analysis leads to concrete results that are used for a specific purpose. Here is another example of an effective thesis statement. This study outlines a new strategy to analyze, match, and conflate road asset metadata information from multiple data sources, also enabling both harmonized new data and federated query data. This example states that the paper proposes a new solution to an existing problem, specifying the purpose and scope, to analyze, match, and conflate road asset metadata information from multiple data sources. As the thesis statement articulates the central argument or claim, this must be supported by evidence. In science and engineering writing, claim and evidence are the two fundamental pillars. Without evidence, the claim is only an opinion. In order to articulate an argument in a thesis statement, it should be formulated with effective rhetoric that aims to engage and persuade the reader, rather than simply stating an idea. Here is an example of a weak thesis statement. There is a link between energy sectors and the input from other sectors such as industry, transport, and household, and it influences the demand for energy. Although this does make a claim, the author's purpose is unclear. Why is the link between energy sectors and other sectors important? What is the significance of the other sectors' influence on energy demand? Will this be analyzed? To what purpose? Similarly, fossil fuels should be gradually phased out in favor of more sustainable solutions to energy conversion. It raises a discussion point, but in this format, it sounds like the author is simply stating a viewpoint that may or may not be substantiated by evidence. To sum up, a thesis statement presents an argument effectively if its purpose is clear and if it is stated persuasively. A thesis statement is not a presentation of an idea or an opinion. It is the author's own claim based on evidence, and it contributes to knowledge building within a discipline. Welcome to Part 2. Now that we know what a thesis statement is, here are the 4 keys to writing a good thesis statement. Key number 1, assertive. Tell the reader what is to be proven. The thesis statement clearly states what is intended to be proven in the paper. While conclusions can be cautious, the thesis statement should be persuasive. It is important to emphasize that a thesis is not the subject of the paper, but a claim within that subject. It is a specific argument that is being stated and developed throughout the paper. Assertiveness, therefore, means that the thesis takes a definite position or stance on a particular topic and sets out to support that claim. Key number 2, singular. One paper equals one concept. The thesis statement should contain only one clear idea, keeping the paper focused. With more complex subjects, it is tempting to make the scope of the paper as large as possible. In that case, all the elements of the subject's complexity should be made closely and clearly related to one another. Key number 3, specific, drawing things together. The thesis statement should be as specific as possible. One sentence is usually enough. The thesis statement should draw together the essence of the subject and turn it into a single, purposeful statement. It is a specific position that is arrived at given all the information in the introduction. After reading this focused thesis statement, it should be clear to the reader exactly where the author is intending to steer the paper. Key number 4. Well positioned. Where does the thesis statement belong? It should be included in the introduction. There are 2 options for where in the introduction the thesis statement can be placed. First, some writers prefer to discuss the background and build up to the thesis at the end of the introduction. In this sense, the thesis statement is like a mini conclusion to the introduction, which serves as an argument in itself. This is the most common approach. The second option is some writers will begin right off the bat with the thesis statement so that the introduction that follows will support it, thus providing a roadmap for the whole paper. The choice will depend on the author's writing style, the topic at hand, the thesis itself, and the supervisor's input. Good luck with writing your thesis statement.